All right, boys, welcome. Today is it, the finals for the Charity First Handicapping Challenge. We've had a blast. We're down to the final two. And Georgie, it's been quite a ride, huh, buddy?
It's really was so well received. All our handicappers were fantastic, and we're down to really two of the best. And two of the best.
The finals for the Charity First. Can you hear that back? Big challenge. Yes. We've had a blast. We're down to the final two.
Where's it coming from?
Georgie, it's been quite a ride, huh, buddy? This is live TV. Hold on.
So well received. All of our handicappers were fantastic, and we're down to really two of the best. And two of the best.
Finals for the Charity First. Can you hear that back? Big challenge.
As soon as I said two of the best, they said, let's start over. The whole thing said, let's start this whole thing over again.
This is live TV. Hold on.
Well received. All of our handicappers were fantastic. This is like one of those songs, you know.
Are we good to go now?
I got a horse ride here.
No, nobody said anything for a while.
This is called take two, I guess. I don't know what happened. I'm not technologically.
We worked all the kinks out before the championship round.
I'm not technologically advanced, obviously, but something happened. That was live. We're live again. Go ahead, George. Whatever you were saying.
Nothing. That we got two of the best right here. Everybody came with it. We got over $11,000, and I am sure that both of our fantastic handicappers are going to knock it out of the park here today in the championship round. We got a very nice card at Santa Anita, so we got 10 big races, and hopefully we'll make a lot of money here in the championship between two of the best.
Well, I gave you. They're technically both Team Chappie, but it's all for charity. Doesn't matter. But I gave you first choice. So who did you take to be on Team George today?
Well, Dave Weaver, his daughter comes on every TV show, gives picks, plenty of personality, is wonderful. She came on our first show here. She sat on Dave's lap, took a look at us and said, George and Chappie, I'm out of here. And she just left, man. She said, no. It's like, I ain't working with these guys. And so, anyway, she's beautiful. But I'm going with Tyler. I think Tyler, the Survivor champion, and hopefully he's survived until now, and he will continue his winning ways.
So, go ahead, Tyler.
Well, I was just going to say, first off, George, that's a great choice you made. Secondly, for my competitor, Dave, I'm going to give you a one-time offer only. Oh. Right now, before we start, I will split the prize pool with you right now, no matter who wins today. $500 for you for Santa Anita's BCBC last chance tournament tomorrow, and $500 for me. That's a third of the bankroll for that $1,500 entry. We get rid of the VIG.
What do you think, Chappie?
It's your call, buddy. That's all you. Whatever you want to do. I know you're excited about maybe winning $1,000.
I mean, I hate to give away money because, I mean, I want to congratulate Tyler on a great run, but up until yesterday, it's all over, my friend. Is that an icicle hanging off your eyebrow? You are so cold. You were basically king horses in a daily double that ran last and second to last. I mean, it is over, my friend. So why would I want to split it with you? But I will, because you're probably going to beat me. And either way, yeah, this is good. So I'm glad you made the offer. I'm fine with that. We'll do that.
All right, well, that takes care of that. But I just have one question. Last week, when you ducked Chris Aduce that you could face Michelle Yu, did you pick any winners?
I don't know who I was playing. I didn't know who I was playing. I just knew what my time frame was for that particular day, and I happened to get matched up against somebody that didn't pick a winner like me, and then I picked the tiebreaker. So it wasn't by my design.
She texted me yesterday, told me you cheated. She said that it was unfair. She did not want the favorite to be taken in the last race, and you took Baffert at 6-5 to beat her in a tiebreaker. That's what she told me.
Hey, winners pick winners.
Hey, in Dave's defense, Michelle did win the tiebreaker, so she had the first pick, and she couldn't get to it. At some point, I said, this is live TV. What do you want to do? And she said, go ahead, Dave, you go first. So then he said, hey, I'll take the 6-5 favorite.
That's all she mentioned, too, was that horse, right? She was like, what was the name of that horse?
It was the Baffert first timer.
Like, I like the Baffert. I like the Baffert. I like the Baffert, but I don't know what to pick. I'm just going to give it to you, Dave. And he goes, I'll take the Baffert.
Yeah. So the first thing she said is, I'm not taking the 6. And I said, well, I like the 6. So if you're already saying you're not taking, that's what I was going to take. So don't give me that. Come on.
All right.
By the way, I did I did bash you this morning on my radio show, Dave, didn't I?
Why wouldn't you? Well, first of all, let's go back to yesterday. Why are we even having this tournament today? Tyler won. I mean, according to George and Chappie, the finals were yesterday. I mean, why are we doing this?
That's right.
Oh, you tuned in yesterday, huh?
Oh, I watch every single minute of it. Yeah.
Well, Dave, you should win today for fun. I mean, look at all the advantages you had. I had to stress all week about even making it to the finals. I got no time off. You got all week. I mean, you're playing golf, not very well from the scorecard that I saw, but you were playing golf. I mean, you knew you were in the finals. You coasted in here. You had the easier side of the bracket. I mean, you of all people, I don't think you could possibly complain about it.
Homeschool a 7-year-old and then come back to me on that.
All right, well, boys, we want to get it started here, Georgie. I guess let's start off with you guys and your win bet. Sorry, I'm adjusting my volume there.
All right, sounds good. We got the championship round where both champions crawled into the finals, and here they are, and they're ready to. They're ready to fire away and win some money for charity. All right, we're gonna start it off with $100 win bet. Tyler, you got first pick, $100 to win. Where and why?
We're gonna go to San Diego Park, race number 9, and unlike Dave, we're gonna go with a price on our win bet. We're going to go to the.
How do you know what I'm taking?
Man Friday. I'm sorry, Dave. What was that?
How do you know I'm not taking the price?
Because I do trip notes for horses and people. I talked to a lot of people last night about you. I like the 7-horse Man Friday. This is a good trip note play today for a couple of reasons. The race last time on August 29th at a mile was a disaster from the start. When you're watching the race, the assistant starter was fumbling with the bridle at the start and the gates sprang open. This one leapt as a result and then stumbled. Things only got worse from there as this one was very keyed up, rushed into the first turn off a horse's heels and then checked again. By the time they hit the half-mile pole, Abel Cedillo just wrapped up. It was not his day. They cut back in distance today. Interesting to note, Abel does leave this Baffert runner and opts for the rail runner, the first-time starter by the name of Classier. Don't know what that means exactly. Maybe Abel knows what he's doing. Maybe he doesn't. I don't know. But what I do know is that Man Friday had a terrible trip last time. Probably will be overlooked at the windows. I'm expecting we'll get a little bit higher than the 6-1 price. And I think it's definitely worth a shot in this race. So our $100 win bet will be on number 7, Man Friday.
Tyler, the race before, Man Friday lost convincingly to a horse who's in this race, North Pole. How does that factor into your handicapping? Do you just go with that last race?
I'm glad you asked that question because North Pole is another one. We have a very, very good trip note on North Pole. North Pole showed a lot of guts, was in between horses around the far turn, had to wait. The winner of that race, Whitefire, was a second-time starter for Mendez and ran a terrific race that day. I mean, North Pole should absolutely move forward. Now, with these being 2-year-olds, it's very easy to reverse form. I mean, just because one horse beats another one on one day doesn't mean that they can't reverse order or finish the next time they match up. A couple things that concerned me about North Pole, the big gap in the works. You can see that the debut race was on August 16th, came back with 2 workouts right afterwards on the 25th and the 31st, and then we don't see any workouts again until October 3rd. Now, there are 3 workouts since then. All 3 appear to be pretty good. We got a 4 furlongs, the 5 furlong work, and then another 5 furlong, 59 and 4 tune-up for this race. They paid $1 million for it. North Pole should absolutely move forward. When you're talking about just betting the race, that's obviously a pretty strong exacta, I think. But I don't think from a value standpoint, you're getting 9-5 on North Pole and you're getting 6-1 on Man Friday. Man Friday was kind of given the debut, I thought. Just ran an even race. From an odd standpoint, it's really no decision for me. I mean, it's pretty obvious. You take a shot with the higher price here.
All right, 6-1 on the morning line. Race number 9, Man Friday. Tyler, we're gonna make some money there. Go ahead, Chappie.
And I'll tell you what, North Pole's going to get pounded at the windows. I'm guessing. So I say odds on 4-5 on North Pole, somewhere around there. Don't you think, Tyler?
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, everyone that watched that debut and knowing the company that he kept that day, the sheer fact they paid $1 million for it says that they'll definitely pound it again at the windows. So
yeah, drawn outside with Pratt, the $1 million baby. I'm thinking 4-5. All right, Dave Weaver. Come on, baby. You know, I chose you right from the start to be my teammate today. I knew you could take it home.
The question is, how big of a lead are we going to have, Chappie, by the time we get to that race? Like, what is Tyler going to be chasing? How many tickets will we already have cash? And I love the backgrounds. Chappie's got, like, imaginary money behind him. George stole the Kobe saddle towel off the Zenyatta statue. Tyler's got horses, and I have booze. So we got to know where everybody's going here. Let's talk race number 6, guys. We are going to go predictably, like Tyler said, to a shorter priced horse than his. 3-1 on the morning line. Number 7 horse, 3 a.m. Going to switch to Rispoli today. And even if this horse hadn't, is running really solid races, race after race after race, gets a little bit of extra distance here. I think a mile and 1/8 is going to be up his alley. So I'm going to bet 100 to win on the 7, 3 a.m. I think this is a nice claim for Eddie Truman. A couple of starts back for 25,000. This is solid, hard-hitting allowance horse. I think if we can get $7 and some change and pick up a $350 lead, Chappie, in the win money department, we're on our way.
I like it. So 3-1, 3 a.m. for probably one of my favorite, if not top 2 trainers, as far as if you want to win the nicest man on the grounds award and you're a guy to root for, Eddie Truman is your man. So, and this horse is obviously 4 for 4 in the money. I like it. 3-1. I like Rispoli getting up, big jockey upgrade here. So Weaver, I like where you're at, buddy.
Okay.
Georgie, where did you get? Go ahead, George.
Oh no, that horse. I'm a big thoroughgraph guy, and that horse has
he runs a 6 every time.
A series of 6s every time. Yep. Fastest horse in the race, and Cali Caliente has looked so good. The winner of that last race, so I think it's a key race. Eddie claims him and confidently moved him up, and he delivered with a nice 3rd place effort. Now they go to Rispoli. He's looked so fantastic of late. Last night in the last race, he came from off the pace with that Munnings horse, and just look, he is such a strong rider. So, he's probably going to win, but it doesn't have a good name because I think about 3 a.m., Dave is still going to be crying about losing here today.
All right, I'd be celebrating.
3 a.m., yeah.
Drinking champagne. By the way, Tyler, George, you could already tell he's resenting picking you. He's like, oh, great pick, Dave. Why did I take Tyler?
You know what's even worse, Dave? I like 3 a.m. today. That's a great pick. I actually like that. It makes a ton of sense. I mean, the closing fraction last time was 22-3. It makes a ton of sense stretching to the mile and 1/8. Cali Caliente's rattled off a couple straight now. Yeah. No, that's a terrific pick. And
by the way, another thing about that name, I've always loved this horse for a reason. If you're a baseball fan, Joe Madden nicknamed Tommy LaStella 3 a.m. So because he said this guy could pick up a bat at 3 a.m. and get a hit anytime. So all Cub fans call Tommy LaStella 3 a.m. That's what he's known as. So just a little tidbit for you. I had to throw the Cubs in there for you one time there, Tyler.
I know you did. I know.
Nice win.
I respect it, Chappie. I respect it.
Nice win last night, by the way, buddy. All right, Georgie. Well, first of all, Kobe, where'd you get that? You just do the backdrop, or you did take that off the horse?
Yeah, it's a saddle towel for Kobe 8 and Kobe 24, and I thought it'd be a nice backdrop. I've had this silly board here behind me for this whole time, and big props to the Lakers for winning the championship this year, and showing a little bit of love there. Like
it. All right, let's get to the exacta, buddy.
All right, before we get to the exacta, Tyler, November 7th, is that a significant day? Are you going to get any sleep from now till November 7th?
Well, I think I should start on November 6th, right? That's Breeders' Cup Friday. November 7th is Breeders' Cup Saturday.
We're going to have 7th, you can finally rest. After the 7th is over, you can finally rest. Before the 7th, you're not resting at all.
Of course not. And Dave, he's a loyal supporter of Trip No Pros. Am I right, Dave?
I've already got $25 of my $500 that I'm getting today earmarked to get that Breeders' Cup package, because that's going to be money well spent. No doubt about it. You guys, I'm assuming it's a lot harder to do a day like that where you're watching races from New York, Kentucky, France, California. I mean, that's going to be a lot of just, we feel for you, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly is tough, but the nice part is, I mean, we've got a great team with us. We have plenty of time to do it. The uniqueness of the Breeders' Cup is you kind of know who's already going to be running in it. You don't necessarily know the order, but you can get started on that work pretty early. And Benny and I have already started watching tape and doing trip notes, and you just break it down little by little. And the most important thing is you just can't cheat the tape. You want to make sure you're being fair. You can't be emotional. You don't want to be thinking about, okay, in this prep race, I bet this and that. You got to remove all that from it. You got to watch it exactly for what it is, and you got to pay attention from start to finish, the pan shots, the head shots. And most importantly, you're trying to do a good enough job that you can literally, anybody can go back and check your work and be like, did they actually watch this replay? Did they take the time and the care and the effort to put the work in and articulate and describe the race the way that it was run? And I think every single time we do that.
Where can they get these wonderful notes?
So you go to tripnotepros.com. We'll have pretty soon we'll have pricing available so people can pre-order. It'll be $25 for Friday, $25 for Saturday. We'll cover all of the undercard races on top of just the Breeders' Cup card for both days, and it should be a terrific day of action at Keeneland. I think the only thing all of us wish is that we could actually be there in attendance.
Yeah, I'm gonna have $25 because you're doing it in English and Spanish. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct. Yeah. We're doing it in Spanish too, and we're having a little fun with that. We're actually putting out. You'll see today. We'll have the trip note for Man Friday written in Spanish as a little preview.
Great.
What we're looking at. So it's pretty cool.
All right. Now it's pretty cool if you make some money for our great charities. You got $100 exacta. Where are you going and why?
So we're going to go to race 8, the Senator Ken Matty Stakes, and we're going to play a $50 exacta box. And this isn't sexy. Dave's gonna say something after I say this bet, but I think this one is pretty solid today. We're going to box the 1 JoJo Air and the 5 Magic at Midnight. It's actually the top 2 betting choices. It pains me to admit that it's a chalk exacta. But with that said, I think it's something that's very, very solid on the card. Magic at Midnight, again, we don't have to be a genius. You don't really need trip notes to figure out why Magic at Midnight looks like a very promising young filly. Actually, she's 4 years old, but young in the fact that she's only run 4 times. She's undefeated. But what's been impressive is both of her last 2 tapes, the one on August 14th on the turf, and then the one last time on closing day at Del Mar on the main track. Both times she got the lead rather easily, but when she was challenged and looked like she was in deep water, she gamely repelled the place finisher in both of those races. And that kind of tenacity isn't something that you see every day. So when you see it and you recognize it, you have to reward it. 9-5 is a little short. I'm actually surprised that's the morning line favorite in here, considering the move up in class. But she looks like the speed on paper. I think the undefeated record continues. I think she's going to run a very, very good race. She fits this jump up in class to the grade 3 condition quite well. So I think she'll be there no matter what. The rail horse JoJo Air, last time she ran at Pimlico a couple days before the Preakness Stakes and caught a yielding turf course. She had an uncomfortable trip between horses throughout. Had a slightly steady weight room. While we could make excuses for that, I don't think that's actually the real reason why she ran poorly. I think it's the track condition itself, the fact that it was a yielding turf course. She just didn't seem to take to it. Her race 2 back in the Daisy Cutter Stakes at Del Mar, the second week of the meet, because you remember they had the cancellation for the COVID positives between opening week and that second week of the meet, was incredibly impressive. I mean, she ran determinedly. She stalked an inside pocket trip. She swung out, and she would not be denied. She gets Pratt to hop back aboard today. They return to Southern California today. Again, I think she sits the pocket trip, and she's going to be the one trying to run down Magic at Midnight, and I expect them to finish 1-2, 2-1, however order it comes in. So we're going to go $50 exacta box, JoJo Air, and Magic at Midnight.
You know, one of the reasons I think that it's very important to have a service like yours in Trip Note Pros is a comment on Magic at Midnight. Last race, you see that it says stumbled. Man, that is that could be a tiny stumble or a really severe stumble. But since they're limited to what they could say, they only have a few words to say in the comments. That stumbled, unless you actually see the race and get it interpreted, it could mean nothing or it could mean a tremendous amount.
Absolutely. And in this case, it was a significant stumble. She recovered very quickly, which actually speaks to her athleticism, that she was able to still get the lead and set fast fractions. I mean, she went 44-2 for the half. And I mean, Dave knows better than I do. You know, when you're watching all these races, especially on the Southern California circuit, I mean, we don't go 44-2 anymore in these tracks. I mean, that's you know, whipping along there on the front end. But it's something Benny and I always talk about when it comes to analyzing the head-ons for start of races and in our trip notes is so oftentimes you'll see, you know, bumped at the start. Bump at the start can mean it got bumped into, was the one causing the bumping. Sometimes it's a good thing. There are times where both horses on either side will bump into the horse, but you're far enough ahead out of the gate that it propels them forward. It's actually a good thing. It's like being launched with a catapult out of the gate. And all those things, depending on which way it breaks, tell a major story.
So you're saying that the stumble was significant?
It was significant in this turn. Yeah, absolutely. But the even more important part than just the stumble is the athletic recovery.
All right, Chappie.
And another thing about Magic at Midnight, just a shout out to my buddy Joe Moran. He and his dad, what a claim they had put in for that horse for 30. Joe from My Racehorse fame, he and his dad own that horse, and a big, good-looking horse too. If you see her on the track, she's beautiful. So, and of course Wesley Ward. You always look for him when he ships into a sprinter in the one-horse Jojo Air. All right, let's go, Weavis. What are we doing with our exacta, buddy?
Same race, but no chalk here, my friend. I love a horse in this race, and I think this 6-1 morning line on the number 3 horse and Eddie Surprise is a gift. I mean, this is a horse that was really good last time in winning a stakes race. Loves it here at Santa Anita. 15 for 18 in the money, 12 times in the exacta. Every single one of her lifetime wins is here on the turf at Santa Anita. And I think it's going to set up nicely for her. She's going to have a big target out in front, Magic and Midnight. She's got a better post than the one, Jojo Air, who I think is going to be put in pretty much a compromised spot when the 5-horse clears her early on. I think the 3 and Eddie Surprise are going to come rolling late and reel in the heavy favorite here. So we're going to do a $100 ice cold exacta 3-5. King, maybe a $15, $16 winner on top. And that's how you win this tournament, Chappie. Send it.
I love it. First of all, I love it. I love it's in the same race. And on, championship day, you had to come with the ice cold. So
Yes.
Real quick, Dave, before we get to the double, tell us a little bit about More Ways to Win, where people can catch you, buddy.
And by the way, Mario has been riding the turf very, very well. So he's having a good meet. More Ways to Win, we do it on Thursday mornings at 6 o'clock Pacific time. So if you're tuning in to TVG, you can catch us from 6 to 8. We basically do 4 different shows. One focuses on New York, one on Indiana, one on Colorado, and one on Pennsylvania. And then those shows actually air in like half-hour pockets out in those cities on big networks, like, pre-show NFL before Fox and CBS is coming on. We're kind of getting into those slots. So it's picking up because those are the states where sports betting is legal. It's not yet in California, but you can still watch it on TVG. And then I don't know the exact schedule, but we do rerun it kind of in the early morning hours on Fridays and Saturdays and Sundays leading up to kickoff tomorrow. But Thursday for sure is the first time you can watch it live.
So what Dave basically is saying is he's turning into Mr. Big Time. So this will probably be the last time we're going to catch him with us. He's moving up to the networks now. So
that show also, really interesting because of course it covers betting, but also covers fantasy football players as well. So it's really a plethora of information for all kinds of activities revolved around sports.
It's a good show. And we have Dr. Chow on, the football doc, that kind of talks about key injuries that might impact, certain outcomes of certain games. And JJ Zacharyson, the big FanDuel fantasy guy, always gives good stuff if you're looking to play the daily fantasy stuff, which you can in California. So I like the format. I think it's entertaining and it's turning into a real good show.
I like it. All right, Primetime Weaver. It's up to you, Georgie. Let's get to the double, buddy.
All right, the daily double, and you can still, let's say Dave Weaver has the lead. He can easily stumble like that Giants quarterback. So we need to make a move, let's say, and you got a daily double. You bring it. Well, who you got and why?
Well, first off, I want to say that, this was a celebrity handicapping contest, and I was actually nervous today to go up against Dave. I mean, I've grown up with Dave on my TV. Not that you're that old, Dave. You're a really young guy.
You're just calling him old. That's all you're doing right there.
I'm in the presence of a celebrity today, so I am nervous.
Hey, if you think he's old, then George and I are ancient. So
I didn't want to say anything about the professionals on here. So for our daily double bet, guys, we're going to go to Santa Anita Park, back to race number 9. And we're going to play a $50 double. And we're going to use both North Pole, who obviously will be the odds on chalk with our big trip note, and number 7, Man Friday. And we're going to play it to a bomb in the last race. It's going to be the number 3 horse, Truth Seeker, at 20-1 morning line.
Wow.
Ooh.
So this is the rationale for this race. This is by far the most competitive and best betting race on today's card. The favorite in the race will be the 8-horse Shadow Sphinx, who last time sat a terrific trip, exploded. No doubt the horse to beat. A little surprised they don't move up in class. They don't try something a little bit different with this one. Richie Baltus keeps it at the claiming level. Actually drops a little bit, but I'm assuming it from the condition standpoint. The claiming 32, claiming 25, probably all that's offered right now as we approach the end of the meet. But going to our pick, Truth Seeker, who's going to be stretching out if you go back to the last relevant turf race, which was 3 back. The race on August 29th, the 5 furlongs on the turf, was one of those times where the start meant everything. Was bumped at the break by a rival, and it wasn't that the contact was violent. It's that the contact forced him to lose 3 to 4 positions out of the gate. As a result, was trying to rush up down the backstretch, didn't make it through a hole, had to steady again, was awaiting room on the far turn. In the stretch, Ricardo Gonzalez was still looking for room. He ended up just kind of coasting this one in right off of horse's heels at the wire. This was a better than look performance with a decent gallop out. Why they didn't go back to the turf after that, I don't know. Can't explain it. But in simple elimination handicapping, throw out the last 2 dirt races. It didn't really fit. Not that either one of those performances was bad, just that's not what this one, I think what they were trying to do and what they set them up for off of that August 29th race. So today we go 2 turns, we go back to the turf, slight drop in class. I think it's a reasonable bomb in a very wide open race. So we're going to play $50 doubles from race 9 to race 10, number 6 and 7, North Pole, and Man Friday to number 3, Truth Seeker.
Man, if Man Friday connects with Truth Seeker, this could be the biggest score of the meet here.
Yeah.
So excellent pick. And it is a tremendously competitive race. Truth Seeker on Thoroughgraph numbers has run 7s and 8s. And that's not much different than the favorite who's run 6s and 7s and 9s. So it's a competitive race. Love the pick. As mentioned, Mario Gutierrez is running well on the grass of late. So let's see if we can get that home for charity. Go ahead, Chappie.
I see Dave's wheels are spinning there. Are you calling an audible now, Dave, for the double?
No, I'm just realizing that Tyler has 0 action until race number 8. So no matter what happens up until race number 8, he has $0. So we're going to have a win bet before that. And let's try to hit a daily double early on here, Chappie, so we can make him shake and make him realize he better hit something or else he's losing. Here's the daily double. And I just saw the scratch come in, by the way, that is making me a little bit undecisive on the second race. The 1 horse, Tough to Break, that fast Los Al horse for Scott Willoughby, scratched. So that makes the 2 the lone speed, but I'm going to stick with what I was originally going to do, and that is single the 6 horse Chipper. I just think his main track sprint races are just too good, and he'll end up reeling in the 2 late. So we're going to play a $50 double, singling the 6 horse in race number 2. But I think both of the favorites are kind of false favorites in race number 3. The 5 defense wins, and the 6 holding the loop come out of the same race. They both got absolutely crushed. It was a fast race, but now their connections both drop in for a tag. I think these horses are very beatable. I'm going to go to 2 other horses, $50 double, 6 with the 3 Tis Vicious, a horse that raced on the turf going long first time out, and to me is bred to sprint on the main track. So I think the 3 horse Tis Vicious moves forward here. And then the 4 horse Prince Magician, Hector Palma comebacker, who I thought showed some real ability last year as a 2-year-old, drops in for a tag here. And I think we got some ripe favorites to pick off in the 5 and the 6. So I'm going to go $50 double, race 2, 6 with 3 and 4.
All right, I like it. So we've got plenty of action, kind of spread out all day long. Dave trying to hit early, take the early command, and Tyler coming in late with his plays. George, we do not need a tiebreaker because they're going to split the dough.
That's right.
That's true. It's irrelevant. Except for
yeah.
pride, but if it comes down to a tie, we don't want to have a pride tiebreaker anyways.
Yeah, no. And
We just want to have a celebratory drink, right, Dave?
There's not going to, I have a feeling there's not going to be a tiebreaker today. I feel both of us are going to get on the board here and make some money for karma anyways.
Yeah, no question. So obviously this is all about making money for charity. You guys are making $500 and we really appreciate it. George, take us home, buddy, and we'll be done with it.
All right, congratulations. We want to thank all the participants that participated because they were all fantastic. They really brought insight, brought money for sure, and very entertaining. Some of the best in our business. And we want to thank each and every one of them. Of course, congratulations to our 2 champions who split the money and are going to make money, I'm sure, for charity here today. Tomorrow, we have another charity event, the first charity event, with some of the luminaries in the first universe. So tune into that. You guys have a great day. Thank you, Chappie. You did a fantastic job through this whole tournament. And thank everybody for watching.
Yeah, thanks, guys, for your time, and we really appreciate it. Good luck, guys.
All right,
Thank
good luck,
you, Chappie.
Tyler.
Thank you, George. Great job all the way through. Fantastic pilot run.
All right, guys, let's get it home. Let's make some money for charity.